Halo Reach is the best plot to any Halo game and quite possibly of any game period, except for the journey from FIFA 17. Except I'm kidding, it's definitely not the fucking journey.
Daniel Farke.
Anyway, Halo Reach is a Hollywood caliber story that can be described in one word. Hope. Or for those who've played the final mission, fuck. Let me clue you in if you're not in tune with Halo lore. And no, we're not talking about the 2007 hit ballad by Beyonce, though you could cast her as Master Chief John 117 if you're feeling a little bit spicy. Hail to Beyonce. Anyway, salute. Please don't kill me. The year is 2552, or if you're watching this in 527 years' time, the year is today, and we humans have become overpopulated on Earth, but we discover a new mode of travel called slip space that makes it possible for us to go to new galaxies and colonize a bunch of different worlds. Over time, people in the different colonies started to fight the United Nations Space Command, aka the UNSC, because they felt exploited by the people on Earth who took resources and exercised martial law. Not to be confused with marital law, that one's about weddings and divorces, you dingus. People began to push back against the UNSC, known as insurrectionists or innies, who became a full-scale insurgency across a bunch of human colonies fighting a civil war against the UNSC. To destroy all the innies, and look, if you look at mine, I'm kind of half innie, half outie. A scientist named Dr. Halsey, not to be confused with the singer Halsey, created the Spartan 2 program, where the Office of Naval Intelligence, aka ONI, would abduct, augment, and grow kids into super soldiers so they could end the innies once and for all. Doesn't sound like a very good guy move, but I mean, hell, someone's got to win this war. And suddenly, whilst in the middle of a civil war, humans came into contact with a strange gathering of aliens known as the Covenant. Now, the Covenant see us humans as an affront to the gods, aka God hates us, which maybe they have Wi-Fi and TikTok access, and for the most part, they might be right. They immediately declare war on humanity and started destroying the planets we inhabited. It starts to get bad. It gets so bad that a whole heap of Spartan 2s were dying, so ONI creates the Spartan 3 program, where they train more regular people to be super soldiers, but cheaper and less advanced. Kind of like how some companies like Amazon and Temu mass produce products that are cheap and easy to make, that's having less value. Think of that, but for human lives. What a future. They effectively used them not to fight back against the Covenant, but merely to slow them down as the Spartan 3s were sent on suicide missions and basically were told, well, you wanted to be a super soldier and look at you. You kind of are, but really, you're more of a super speed bump if we're honest. Now go out there and die for your fragmented and fucked up planet. God bless. Okay, so now you're up to speed with Halo lore. Here's how the Halo Reach film is going to go. And for the most part, I'm going to be talking about the plotline for the video game. So if you played the game already, why not stay for a little bit of a nostalgia tour? We get a shot of a desolate and obliterated planet known as Reach. And we see the broken helmet that once belonged to a Spartan. That's foreshadowing. See, Reach is the second most important planet behind Earth. And a team of 6 replacement soldiers known as Noble 6 are set to protect Reach from insurrectionists to begin with. But before long, they discover the Covenant is actually on Reach and are planning to destroy it. If Reach falls, then humanity is almost certainly done for.
Colonel, this is Noble 1. There are no rebels. The Covenant are on Reach. Acknowledge?
Come again, Noble 1. Did you say Covenant?
Affirmative. It's the Winter Contingency.
May God help us all.
The entire of this story revolves around the 6 members of Noble Team as they try to work together in increasingly improbable odds to fight in a war that is doomed from the start. Over the course of the game, or movie, we see Reach slowly decay from paradise to purgatory, as one by one of the Noble Team members are killed in battle, each death vaguely based off of their own specific traits. The first death comes from Cap, a Spartan 3 who's intelligent but lacks foresight, who gets sniped after fear causes her to miss the elevator button by a split second that leads to an unfortunate death.
Where does he get off calling a demolition a priority one?
George is prideful, honorable, and will die for Reach. Even though he's a Spartan 2, he has the most humanity out of the entire team, and he dies boarding a Covenant ship invading Reach and having to detonate a bomb from the inside, thus dying for his planet. Now, the thing is, he thought his actions had just saved Reach, only for a bunch of more of the same ships to appear immediately after this happens, rendering what he'd done practically useless. Things go from bad to worse, and all seems lost until what's left of Noble Team gets secretly reassigned to Oni Sword Base, where they meet Dr. Halsey, who had been secretly creating Cortana, a military AI who's programmed to know the secrets of the Covenant, and this is the only glimmer of hope in surviving this war. Noble Team's new mission is to deliver the AI to the UNSC ship, the Pillar of Autumn, at all costs. Sorry, I'm in the edit now, and I completely forgot to mention that the Pillar of Autumn is a pretty important ship. It's the first thing we see on the very first mission of the first ever Halo game. So it's a pretty big deal. And who's on board that ship? The Master Chef. June, the stealth soldier, is the only Spartan in Reach presumed to have survived, reassigned to protect Dr. Halsey from getting into enemy hands, which effectively means if she does get into enemy hands, he has to kill her. And then there are 3 Spartans left: Emil, Noble Leader Carter, and Noble Six. Upon getting into the shipyard where the Pillar of Autumn is docked, Emil and Six are blocked by a Scarab. Carter in a Pelican sacrifices himself by colliding with the Scarab. Sorry, me again. I realize that saying these things like Scarab and Pelican is basically me talking in tongues, but a Scarab is a really big spider insect-looking machine that's piloted by the Covenant and is almost impossible to destroy. And Pelican is a future transportational jet, leaving Emil to operate the anti-air cannon to protect the Autumn, and Noble Six to deliver Cortana to the Pillar of Autumn. While they're successful, Emil gets ambushed by 2 elites, and Noble Six has the choice of boarding the Pillar of Autumn to escape.
Lieutenant, get aboard! We gotta get the hell out of here!
Negative. I have the gun.
Instead, he opts to man the anti-air cannon to allow the Pillar of Autumn to take off safely from Reach. And while Reach has been destroyed, the Noble Team successfully delivers Cortana, the only glimmer of hope of the humans to have in defeating the Covenant and quite possibly the war. In the end, we see Noble Six standing on a completely obliterated Reach, alone, with one thing left to do: survive. And while he puts up a fight, he ultimately succumbs to the overwhelming majority of Covenant troops. The helmet that he wore left on the barren Reach while it gets destroyed. The entire game, film, feels like the worst thing is happening all the time. And it's precisely this feeling of hopelessness is why it's one of the best Halo stories of all time. There's the beauty of Reach slowly decaying, the feeling of hopelessness and dread slowly washing over as we come to realize Noble Team have been assigned to a suicide mission this entire time is just, love it. Only for the game to end with a sliver of hope we've been working towards the entire time, delivering Cortana to the Pillar of Autumn, and while losing the battle, quite possibly being the seed that wins this war. By far, it's the best. This is on a silver platter for Hollywood to gobble up, and they basically don't have to do anything. Leave the Score by Marty O'Donnell and Michael Salvatore. That's spectacular in setting the tone for this film. It is an incredible score. The only thing I probably would change is slightly make it more palatable for cinema with a little bit less military jargon. You'd cut out a couple of the missions that don't add a whole lot of substance, like the subspace mission, which I think Bungie was just playing with for their new game Destiny. Make it fit within a 2-hour runtime and we are golden. And I'm sure you can do that. I am wearing rose-tinted glasses with this because the Halo franchise is close to my heart, but honestly, I think a film like this would be perfect for the silver screen. The Halo franchise, and look, by franchise, I actually mean Halo 1, 2, 3, and ODST, Reach, and nothing else, would be fantastic in cinemas. And what I like most about it is it's not a generic war story, nor is it like every other sci-fi you've ever seen. It's kind of both mashed into one. For the most part, the Halo video games, you play as John Master 117 Chief, or our alien destroyer and superhuman badass who, no matter what happens, seems to never die. Halo Reach, I'd argue, is the better story because it's the opposite. It's human. It portrays a glimmer of hope in an ocean of hopelessness. It shows a shoddy, stitched-together team having to come together in a fight they know they can't win and sacrifice themselves in doing so, except for Jun, cheeky prick. The fact that the UNSC propaganda portrays Spartans as being invincible and never dying, and seeing Noble Team being picked off one by one is raw and real. Sometimes it's good to know that you can lose. And yeah, look, in the video game you play as Noble Six, the lone wolf who is one of the 2 Spartans' faces we don't see in this. And I think that's actually a good thing we don't see their face. Bungie made it so we never see the Master Chief's face because the fact that anyone could be under that mask, and that's why it works so well. And ironically, that's also why 20 minutes into watching the Halo TV series on Paramount, and I haven't watched it any further, I'm telling you, Spartans don't need to reveal their faces or even have sex with a weird alien creature. Made the Halo TV series die in hell, because I'll be damned if I have to think about John 117's Little Johnson. Why? Anyway, the point is, it's cool to keep some characters faceless. We see humanity in the rest of Noble Team, and you can do wonders in the casting here. George looks like he should be portrayed by Dave Bautista, but he sounds like he should be voiced by Idris Elba.
We will make it sooner or later. But I did play soccer.
Surely that's a layup. You could have either in there. Carter's a goddamn hunk. You could put Glenn Powell in that. Someone a few years ago on Reddit said Channing Tatum. And,
My name is Jeff.
And then I clicked on that Reddit thread and someone said Ante Joao. I'm not sure if I'm getting that right. As Kat, and thank you Flawless_Cowboy for inspiration. You can either cast her or Gal Gadot, anyone with an accent. And Emil, you could just play the guy that voiced Emil. You don't have to show his face anyway. The rest you can probably figure out. But regardless, Halo Reach is a solid enough story for Hollywood. And with the right script and budget behind it, it could 100% break box office. No doubt in my mind. What I know as a dumb-brained little fan is most of the time we don't really need something fresh if we're heading to a new medium. Going from a video game to a film and using most of the IP is actually fine in my book, because it gives us a new avenue to consume. I mean, and that's also why the new Disney live action remakes don't work well at all. They're not doing anything new. They're going from cinema to cinema, only changing from cartoon to kind of real people, and that's why they fall flat. I, for one, would be pretty glad to have Halo Reach fully portrayed in a film, because I played the game 10 times over and I get really sick of shooting down spaceships in Long Night of Solace, because that mission sucks and I hate it, and I just kind of want to sit down and watch the Halo Reach story for 2 hours. Hollywood has been trying video game adaptations for a while now, and for the most part, while mostly being safe, they are working quite well. And it's not as if the Halo franchise isn't creatively bankrupt anyway under 343. I mean, we might as well go on a nostalgia run and fire up the old classics while we're at it. Anyway, maybe it's stupid. Maybe it's dumb. Let me know in the comments which video game you want to see as a movie. And if you say Guitar Hero 3, I know you're a liar and a fiend. Bye.